Welcome back to GH Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the issue that has sent shockwaves through General Hospital, a legal battle turned tragedy, a sniper's bullet shattering the courtroom, and the likely end of a legacy character whose presence has defined Port Charles for over a decade. The custody war over Wiley and Amelia has been long, brutal, and emotionally devastating, but no one could have predicted how it would end in bloodshed, chaos, and the presumed death of Michael Corinthos. As the custody case intensified, tensions reached an all-time high. On one side stood Carly Corinthos, determined to defend her son Michael's rights and protect her grandchildren from being removed from the only family they've ever truly known. With Michael still recovering from severe burn injuries at a clinic in Germany, Carly stepped up to represent him in the courtroom, determined to speak for him when he couldn't. On the other side were Willow Tate and Drew Kane. Once close allies of Michael, their alliance was now built on betrayal, strategy, and an unshakable desire to win custody. Their legal representative, Rick Lansing, a veteran in courtroom warfare, devised a strategy built around Michael's absence. He was set to argue that Michael had effectively abandoned Wiley and Amelia, using his absence as a foundation to prove he was no longer fit to be a parent. It was a bold strategy. Drew and Willow believed the case was tilting in their favor. Rick had constructed a ruthless narrative that painted Michael as absent, disengaged, and unreliable. They thought they had the edge. But everything changed in an instant. As the judge called the court into session and Rick prepared to deliver his opening statement, the courtroom doors suddenly opened. All eyes turned. Michael Corinthos entered. His face still showed signs of the burn trauma, bandaged along one cheek, skin discolored and healing. He moved slowly but with purpose. There was a visible limp, a quiet pain behind his eyes, but also determination. Murmurs filled the room. Carly gasped. Willow's jaw dropped. Drew stiffened. Rick went silent, his expression shifting from confidence to alarm. Michael's presence immediately destroyed Rick's central argument. He wasn't absent. He wasn't abandoning his children. He was here injured, still healing, but present and ready to fight. Whatever legal momentum Drew and Willow had gathered began to crumble the moment Michael took the stand. But Rick Lansing wasn't a rookie. While the initial shock threw off his plan, he quickly pivoted. He began to question Michael's stability, subtly suggesting that the trauma Michael had endured might impact his ability to care for children. He asked whether the painkillers, surgeries, and psychological burden could interfere with fatherhood. It was a cold tactic, but Rick was fighting to win. Michael, however, held his ground. With steady composure, he explained everything. The explosion that caused his injuries, his difficult recovery in Germany, and his unwavering love for Wiley and Amelia. He reminded the court that even from across the world, he remained in constant communication with Carly, made decisions about the children's care, and stayed connected to their lives. His testimony was raw, emotional, and grounded in truth. The room listened. Even Willow, sitting beside Drew, couldn't help but be visibly affected. This wasn't the man she had painted in her mind. This was the man who once stood beside her through cancer, who held her hand through the darkest nights. Her eyes welled with tears. But before the court could fully digest the shift in momentum, everything fell apart. A single gunshot echoed through the courtroom. Chaos erupted. Screams tore through the chamber. The judge dove behind the bench. Carly screamed Michael's name. Security scrambled. For a moment, no one could tell where the bullet had landed, until Michael collapsed. He hit the ground hard, blood pooling quickly beneath him. Panic gripped the room as Carly dropped to his side, crying out for help. Willow stood frozen in horror. Drew instinctively shielded her. Police officers called for backup and tried to lock down the courtroom, but the shooter was already gone. Witnesses claimed the shot came from a high vantage point outside the courthouse. A sniper, a professional. Michael was rushed to General Hospital with life-threatening injuries. The bullet had struck close to his heart, and despite rapid intervention, the damage was extensive. Doctors worked around the clock, but it became clear that the prognosis was grim. Port Charles was in shock. News of the courtroom shooting spread quickly. Reporters camped outside the hospital. Speculation exploded. Who had ordered the hit? Was it mob-related revenge? Was someone trying to stop Michael from regaining custody? Was it connected to a deeper plot? And then came the most devastating announcement yet. Chad Duell, who has portrayed Michael Corinthos for over a decade, had already confirmed his upcoming departure from General Hospital. While the actor had hinted at a major final storyline, fans had hoped for a more peaceful goodbye. Instead, the showrunners, led by Frank Valentini, delivered a heartbreaking twist that would close the chapter on Michael's character permanently. The hospital scenes were gut-wrenching. Carly stood vigil at Michael's bedside, whispering to him, begging him to stay alive. She recounted memories of his childhood, his laughter, his resilience. Willow, sitting outside the room, cried silently. Drew remained nearby, his expression unreadable. Sonny, upon hearing the news, returned from an off-screen absence, arriving at GH visibly shaken. Despite their strained relationship, Michael was his son, and nothing could prepare him for this. When the medical team finally emerged, the look on their faces said everything. Michael was gone. Port Charles lost one of its most complex, beloved characters. A man born into violence but shaped by love, betrayed by family yet committed to doing what was right, a father, a son, a figure who had carried so many of the show's biggest storylines for years. His journey ended not in redemption or reconciliation, but in sacrifice cut short by a single bullet. The aftermath will echo for months. Carly, devastated, will grapple with guilt. She brought the case forward, she insisted the trial continue, she begged Michael to return, now she must carry the weight of what that decision led to. Sonny will demand justice. His search for the shooter and the person who hired them will ignite a new war in Port Charles. Willow, heartbroken and lost, will be forced to explain to Wiley and Amelia that their father will never come home again. Drew, now alienated and potentially suspected by others, must face the consequences of aligning himself with a battle that turned fatal. Rick Lansing's career may be permanently damaged. His tactics, his role in escalating the trial, and the aggressive case he pursued will come under harsh scrutiny. And for the viewers, longtime fans who watched Michael grow up on screen, the loss is deeply personal. Chad Duell's portrayal brought depth, nuance, and emotion to a character born from soap royalty. His exit marks the end of an era, and while the door is now closed, the legacy of Michael Corinthos will endure in the stories, memories, and family he leaves behind. The courtroom was meant to be a place of justice. Instead, it became the stage for tragedy. And now, nothing in Port Charles will ever be the same. Next, we will dive deep into the dramatic turmoil surrounding Dante Falconeri, as portrayed by the talented Dominic Zamprogna, and his unexpected outburst at Gio Palmieri in this week's gripping episodes. This storyline has captured the hearts of fans with its raw emotion, complex family dynamics, and hidden secrets that threaten to unravel everything Dante holds dear. As we explore this intense narrative, we'll delve into Dante's uncharacteristic rage, the life-threatening incident involving his son Rocco, the role Gio played in the crisis, and the shocking revelations about family ties that could change everything. Let's unpack the layers of this emotional roller coaster with fresh perspectives, additional details, and an in-depth look at the characters' motivations and struggles. First, let's set the stage with Dante Falconeri, a seasoned detective in Port Charles who is no stranger to high-stakes situations. Typically, Dante is the picture of composure, navigating life-and-death scenarios with a level head and a sharp mind. However, the events of this week have pushed him beyond his limits, revealing a side of him that even longtime fans might find jarring. When Dante discovered that his beloved son, Rocco Falconeri, had come perilously close to losing his life at a college beach party gone horribly wrong, the protective father within him erupted in a way that left everyone stunned. The incident wasn't just a scare, it was a gut-wrenching reminder of how fragile life can be, especially for a man who has already endured so much personal loss and upheaval. Blinded by fear and fury, Dante lashed out at Gio Palmieri, the young man who was present during Rocco's crisis, accusing him of negligence without fully understanding the circumstances. This emotional explosion wasn't just about the incident, it was the culmination of every burden Dante has been carrying, making this storyline a poignant exploration of grief, fear, and misplaced anger. Now let's turn our attention to the harrowing night that set this drama in motion. Rocco, a spirited teenager testing the boundaries of independence, found himself at a lively college beach party, a scene filled with the kind of reckless energy that often leads to disaster. Amidst the blaring music and carefree laughter, tragedy struck as Rocco succumbed to alcohol poisoning, a silent killer that could have ended his young life. Enter Gio Palmieri, a character whose actions in this moment would define the course of the story. Far from being the careless bystander Dante accused him of being, Gio acted with quick thinking and genuine concern. Spotting Rocco unconscious among the partygoers, he didn't hesitate to intervene, dragging him away from the chaotic scene to the nearby Quartermain boathouse in hopes he could sleep off what seemed like mere intoxication. It was a decision made under pressure, without the benefit of hindsight or medical knowledge. Fortunately, an adult, Cody Bell, arrived on the scene and recognized the gravity of Rocco's condition. With urgency, Cody ensured Rocco was rushed to the hospital, where doctors performed a life-saving stomach pump procedure. Rocco is now on the mend, but the emotional scars of that night linger, particularly for Dante, who can't seem to shake the terror of nearly losing his child. What makes this storyline even more heart-wrenching is the tragic irony at its core, a secret that many fans are already buzzing about. Gio Palmieri, the young man Dante so fiercely blamed, is actually his biological son, a truth yet to be revealed to the detective himself. Behind the scenes, this bombshell ties back to a past romance with Brooklyn Quartermain, who as a teenager made the difficult decision to give their child up for adoption after they found themselves unprepared for parenthood. This hidden connection adds a layer of complexity to Dante's rage, as viewers can't help but wonder how his perspective will shift once the truth comes to light. Will his anger transform into regret, or will it deepen the rift between him and Gio? The tension is palpable, and the show's writers have masterfully woven this secret into the narrative, keeping us on the edge of our seats. Adding further intrigue, Lulu Spencer, Dante's ex-wife who recently awakened from a years-long coma, holds this critical piece of information. Despite her fragile recovery, Lulu is determined to share the truth with Dante, even as those around her caution against it, fearing the emotional fallout. This subplot introduces a moral dilemma. Is it better to protect Dante from more pain, or does he deserve to know the full extent of his family ties, no matter the cost? Dominic Sempronia's performance in these scenes has been nothing short of captivating, and his recent interview with Soap Opera Digest sheds light on the depth he brings to Dante's unraveling. Sempronia explained that Dante's world has been completely upended, not just by Rocco's near-death experience, but by the seismic shifts in his personal life. The recent loss of Sam McCall, a significant figure in his past, has left a void in Dante's heart, compounded by the miraculous yet overwhelming return of Lulu from her coma. These events have created a perfect storm of emotions, leaving Dante raw and vulnerable. As Semprania poignantly noted, his whole life has gotten turned upside down, and in that moment with Gio, it all just becomes too much for him. This insight helps us empathize with Dante's outburst, even if it's directed at the wrong person. Semprania also revealed that the show's writers prepared him for Dante's extreme reaction, giving him the challenge of finding authenticity in such intense anger. When you're in that frame of mind, you don't always have the ability to take the right action, he elaborated, highlighting the very human flaw of acting out in moments of distress. It's a testament to Sempronia's skill that he portrays Dante's flaws with such nuance, making us root for him even as he stumbles. Beyond the individual performances, this storyline taps into universal themes of family, forgiveness, and the burden of unspoken truths. Dante's refusal to let go of his anger toward Gio, even after learning more about the circumstances, mirrors the way grief and fear can distort our judgment. It's a powerful reminder of how trauma can cloud even the most rational minds, especially for someone like Dante, who prides himself on control. Meanwhile, Gio's silent endurance of Dante's wrath adds another layer of tragedy, as he remains unaware of his true connection to the man berating him. Imagine the weight of that eventual revelation not just for Dante, but for Gio, who may grapple with feelings of resentment or longing for a father he never knew. The Quartermain family, often at the heart of Port Charles drama, also plays a pivotal role here, with Brooklyn caught between her past decisions and the present consequences. Her internal struggle, whether to come clean or protect the fragile status quo, promises more emotional depth as the story unfolds. As we look ahead, the burning question on every General Hospital fan's mind is, how will Dante react when he learns that Gio is his son? Will this revelation be a catalyst for healing, or will it fracture his already strained emotions even further? The potential for redemption is there, but so is the risk of deeper conflict, especially with Lulu's insistence on revealing the truth against others' advice. We can only speculate on the fireworks to come, but one thing is certain: this storyline is a masterclass in soap opera storytelling, blending high drama with deeply human struggles. So, dear GH fans, let us know in the comments how you think Dante will handle this life-altering news. Will he embrace Gio as family, or will the pain of the past keep them apart? And what role do you think Lulu's determination will play in this unfolding saga? Next, we will uncover the thrilling developments teased in the latest preview video for the week of May 19, 2025, centered around the much-anticipated 2025 Nurses Ball. This annual event in Port Charles is always a hotbed of drama, revelations, and unexpected twists, and this year promises to be no different. From Drew Kane and Nina Reeves taking the helm as hosts to a mysterious crasher shaking things up, explosive confrontations, and hidden secrets bubbling to the surface, there's a lot to unpack. Let's dive into the chaos with all new details, creative reimaginings, and expanded insights into the key moments from the preview clip, ensuring we keep you on the edge of your seat with every twist and turn in this iconic soap opera saga. To kick things off, the preview video introduces us to the glitz and glamour of the 2025 Nurses Ball, with Drew Kane and Nina Reeves stepping into the spotlight as the charismatic hosts of this beloved Port Charles tradition. The Nurses Ball has long been a cornerstone of General Hospital storytelling, a dazzling night where the town's elite gather to support a worthy cause while secrets unravel in the most public of ways. This year, the stakes seem higher than ever as the narrator hints at an unimaginable disruption, someone crashing the event in a way that will leave jaws on the floor. Picture the ballroom at the Metro Court Hotel, adorned with sparkling chandeliers and elegant decor, as whispers of scandal ripple through the crowd. Could this uninvited guest be tied to a long-buried grudge, or are we in for a completely out-of-left-field surprise? Before we speculate further on the identity of this mystery crasher, let's explore the other dramatic snippets teased in the video, each promising to ignite fireworks among our favorite characters. One of the most electrifying moments captured in the preview is the shocking clash between Nina Reeves and Carly Spencer, a rivalry that has simmered for years and now threatens to boil over in spectacular fashion. The tension between these two powerhouses explodes when Nina accuses Carly of scheming to tear Willow take Corinthos' children away from her, a deeply personal betrayal that cuts to the core of Nina's maternal instincts. In a fit of unbridled rage, Nina unleashes her fury, delivering a stinging slap across Carly's face that reverberates through the room. But the drama doesn't stop there. Their confrontation escalates into a full-blown brawl as they tumble onto a nearby couch, grappling with each other in a messy display of pent-up resentment. Imagine the gasps from onlookers as champagne glasses clink nervously in the background, with neither woman willing to back down. This altercation isn't just about the children. It's the culmination of years of mistrust, jealousy, and clashing agendas. Will this public showdown finally force them to confront their deeper issues, or will it only widen the chasm between them? Shifting gears, the preview also spotlights Giovanni Gio Palmieri, a young character whose journey in Port Charles is taking an intriguing turn. During the Nurses Ball, Gio boldly declares his desire to embark on something entirely new, a decision that catches those around him off guard. Lois Cerullo, ever the protective figure, wears a mask of apprehension, her eyes betraying a fear of what this announcement could mean. Ned Quartermain, meanwhile, appears utterly perplexed, as if Gio's words have stirred a puzzle he can't quite solve. While fans are aware of the looming adoption secret, that Gio is tied to a major family in ways he doesn't yet understand, the preview suggests this particular revelation remains under wraps for now. Instead, Gio's statement might hint at a personal ambition or a risky endeavor, perhaps tied to his passion for music or an impulsive desire to carve his own path in a town full of powerful players. Could he be stepping into a dangerous business deal with someone like Sonny Corinthos, or is he planning a grand gesture to honor his roots? Whatever Gio's plan, the worried reactions from Lois and Ned signal that this choice could have ripple effects across the Quartermain family, adding another layer of suspense to an already charged evening. Perhaps the most tantalizing clue in the preview is the identity of the Nurses Ball crasher, with speculation pointing toward none other than Michael Corinthos. The narrator's cryptic tease about an unbelievable gate crasher, combined with the stunned expressions on Drew and Willow's faces as an announcement echoes through the ballroom, sets the stage for a potentially earth-shattering moment. Picture the scene. The crowd hushes as a figure strides confidently into the spotlight, uninvited and unafraid, while Drew's visage twists into one of sheer panic. This reaction could be tied to a dark secret. Drew has been harboring his manipulation of a nurse to deceive Willow about Michael's true feelings. For weeks, Drew has worked to keep Willow in the dark, weaving a web of lies to protect his own interests. But if Michael is indeed the crasher, his arrival might signal the unraveling of Drew's carefully constructed facade. Add to this Sonny Corinthos' recent push for Willow to delay a critical court date, and it seems the truth is inching closer to exposure. The emotional fallout could be catastrophic for Drew and Willow's relationship, potentially paving the way for a rekindled romance between Michael and Willow, though not without complications, as whispers of Michael fathering a child with another woman threaten to upend any chance of a happy reunion. The layers of deception and heartbreak teased in this preview don't stop with Drew's predicament. If Michael storms the nurse's ball to set the record straight, it could be the catalyst for a chain reaction of revelations that rock multiple relationships. Imagine Willow's confusion turning to anger as she pieces together Drew's betrayal, her trust shattered in front of Port Charles's elite. Meanwhile, Michael's own baggage rumors of a secret child with another woman adds a bitter twist to any hope of reconciliation. This mystery woman, let's call her Elena for now, could be a figure from Michael's past, someone tied to his business dealings or a fleeting romance during a moment of weakness. Her pregnancy might be revealed at the worst possible time, perhaps through a dramatic confrontation orchestrated by a vengeful third party at the ball itself. Such a bombshell would not only test Willow's capacity for forgiveness, but also challenge Michael's integrity, forcing him to confront the consequences of his actions while navigating the fallout with his family, especially Sonny, who has his own history of complex paternal dilemmas. As the 2025 Nurses Ball approaches, the preview video leaves us with more questions than answers, each snippet brimming with potential for chaos and transformation. Will Nina and Carly's explosive fight mark the end of their feud or the beginning of an even fiercer battle? What bold step is Gio preparing to take, and how will it intersect with the adoption secret waiting in the wings? Most crucially, if Michael is the one to crash the event, how will his presence reshape the delicate dynamics between Drew, Willow, and the extended Corinthos family? The Nurses Ball has always been a breeding ground for Port Charles' most unforgettable moments, and this year's event seems poised to deliver shocks that will linger in our minds for weeks to come. So, dear General Hospital fans, we want to hear your thoughts. Who do you believe will crash the Nurses Ball, and what secrets do you think will be exposed under the glittering lights of the Metro Court? Drop your predictions in the comments below, and stay tuned to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel for every update as we count down to this unforgettable night. Until next time, keep watching and keep guessing.